Hi, this is Keith McGuire, Mark's behind the camera, and today we're painting wildflowers in a vase. Alright, so I'm going to begin by kind of breaking this down for you. We're going to do a little bit of background color. We're going to do, it's kind of in front of a window, and on an old table, okay? So we got a windowsill, we got an old table. We're going to be working with textures, and then we're going to also be working with water in the large, very clear glass jar, or vase rather. So I'm going to begin by basically pulling out some paint. Now I'm pulling out a little bit of ultramarine blue, my favorite color. I don't know, it's become my favorite color. Just kind of subject matter I've been working in. I'm also going to pull out a little bit of indigo, which is a very deep blue black. And then I'm also going to pull a little of my chrome green, just a little bit. So I get it out on the palette where I can see it, and I can pull it out and thin it down. So I'm going to begin by kind of doing the background on the flowers, and then we're going to let that dry up. But we're also going to work mostly on the table and on the jar. But go ahead.
If this is your first time watching Keith's videos, he uses brand hand paints in most of his videos. He's got a butcher tray, he's got his Lowell Cornell brushes, he's got his arches. Is this the 140 or is it 300 pound?
This is 140, so not as much texture.
Okay.
But
he likes his arches cold pressed, 140 if he doesn't need the texture, 300 if he does. Or if he knows he's going to put a lot of paint, he might switch to the 300 pound.
You are learning.
I am. There is a link in the description so you can purchase the exact same materials Keith's using, or use it as a checklist to purchase at your local art store. We do get a small commission if you use our links. You don't pay any extra, and it's greatly appreciated. But feel free to support your local art center as well.
If you can find one. They are getting scarce as hen's teeth. I don't know if you can quite make out my pencil. I think you can. I am kind of going between the blossoms. I don't want any hard edges. That's why I'm kind of doing this half wet, half dry. I'll put some color in, then I'll kind of bleed it around. The stems and stuff are going to be fairly dark, so that's why I'm not too worried about going over the the stems, the leaves, that kind of thing. But I am trying to leave the blossoms, leave it white, so that the color that I'm going to use for the blossoms will show up a little better. I think it's okay if the color bleeds in a little bit, the blue bleeds in a little. I don't think it hurts it at all. Especially because I'm going to be using a violet, and that'll probably just mix very well anyway with the ultramarine blue.
Did you say which kind of flowers these are going to be? Just wild flowers?
I don't know what kind of flowers they are. They're pretty wildflowers. You're going to like them. Anyway, they're very simplistic, actually. Kind of like a clover, a little bit like a clover, only they have long stems. So yeah, as far as what they are, I haven't a clue. So anyway, so I've gone ahead and I've kind of gotten this pretty ultramarine blue in. There's quite a bit of water. And now, before my ultramarine, now you got me doing it. Ultramarine paint dries up on me. I'm gonna kind of push some other color into the ultramarine blue that I've already put down. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of a moodier picture. So I'm going to add just a hair here and there, not everywhere. Ultramarine, I'm sorry, the indigo, just to kind of, I don't know, sadden it up a little bit. Give it a little grayer tone to the background color, which is basically going to be it's a window. You can't really see anything out there, but there's going to be some variation in color. We okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought he was sneaking up on me.
No, I was just curious if this was intended to be sky or a lake or just a generic wall.
Like I said, it's kind of like a picture it as maybe an old window. You can't, maybe a rainy day, it's out of focus, that kind of thing. So there's going to be nothing specific either.
So what I was getting at is this very easily, if somebody doesn't have a lot of blues to do this, they could have did shades of green and made it green trees outside the window.
They could have.
The background's not as important as the foreground. You're just laying a base of color.
Exactly. And my color, I wanted a little on the moodier side. You'll understand once I get going on the table. The tabletop's going to be old, kind of like an old Barnwood. My vase going to have blues and grays in it. The clear glass is going to reflect kind of what's in the background. So, and honestly, I'm not, whatever your color kind of comes out, you might be a little more on the grayer side. You might, try something else. It's up to you. I'm just kind of giving you what I'm doing in this particular image. So I've got my color in. Still left plenty of the lighter shades for the flowers. And if you'll notice, I don't really want any hard lines. So I'd rather blend out a little color rather than, so it isn't white anymore. But I don't want that hard edge when a paint dries. I don't want that. I'm looking for something a little softer. If it gets out of control, you can always, I'm going to leave the area.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Where'd he go?
He's back.
Oh.
And you might just want to, kind of wet things down a little bit. Take a paper towel and just kind of dab out the areas you don't want getting too much color on. So,
that area will dry later too, correct?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I think you can see that there's plenty of white there for me to, pull a flower out of. All right. So, second part of this real quick on this particular adventure is I'm going to start the Barnwood. I'm going to pull out a little of my favorite burnt sienna. And I'm going to mix just a tiny bit of the ultramarine blue into it. I'm going to kind of, as you can see, kind of graze it up a little bit. That's because the burnt sienna is kind of an orange color. And the complementary color for, blue is orange. And that's why we're getting this kind of almost a dove gray. I just named it.
And we've done a whole video on complementary colors, how they affect each other, how they can be used in making effective shadows and things of that nature. So go check out some of our old videos. That's just one of the many lessons. And
we will return to that subject matter again and again as different things, because you'll be surprised. Graying techniques are great for shadows, but they're also great for toning things down a little bit. You just keep an eye on, there'll be more complementary color classes coming very, very soon. So, what I'm going to do now is I am not wetting the paper. I'm going to just lightly take my brush. I've put some color in it, and I'm trying to go in the direction of the wood. I don't want to go up and down and back and forth, because I'm creating what I'm creating is grain in the wood, the cracks. So as you can see, I just take my dry brush and just kind of drag it along. Now I'm coming up on the bottle there, and I don't want to now I am gonna see how I'm bringing a little bit of a lip there, okay, a little bit of an edge, but I don't want to outline the bottle, so I want to be a little careful when I'm doing that. You can outline it here and there, like this top part that's kind of outlined, but as I get farther down, I'm just gonna kind of blend around it as best I can, not get too dark everywhere.
And just to clarify, the end result, the vase is going to be transparent, right?
Oh yeah, this is yes.
This isn't going to be a cheat with just a giant white vase and.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I can go into lunch early. Anyway, so as you can see, I just keep working in my color, my texture. And now what I'm going to do is start varying the color a little bit.
Now, is there going to be a definitive light source in this as well, or just
not really? This is kind of more of a diffused light. There is light hitting it, but honestly, from the painting that or the photograph that I was working from, you could see that it really didn't have a whole lot of color or light, direct light on it. So it's much softer, I think. So anyway, because I like gloomy photography too, right? So dead grass, gloomy photography. All right, so as this dries, what I like to do is now I'm going to take maybe a little bit of sepia, which is a brownish black. And I'm going to just kind of pull a few lines through. Just try to give it the feeling of the old Barnwood look. All right, so. And it's kind of fun to do while it's partially wet, still damp in areas, because you'll be pulling a line, it'll be very thin, then all of a sudden it'll broaden out because it's hit a moist spot, and you get grain that doesn't look like you painted it. It kind of fuzzes a little bit. It creates very good texture. It's a very pretty technique I've been working for years on to just get comfortable being able to do old buildings, that kind of thing. So I don't want to get too detailed, okay? So what I'll do is I occasionally will come back in then, and I will kind of wet a couple of, I might put a few hard lines in, and then, if I don't feel that it's or if I feel like it's too, like I've drawn it too liney, then I'll go ahead and I'll grab some water and I'll just kind of blend it a little bit and give it a little softness. We are also trying to maintain a wee bit of light. We don't want it to all be painted. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm now coming back in. I'm adding just a touch of the ultramarine blue again. And what I like to do is I'll go up around these dry edges and I'll push color in. And what happens is the paint tends to run to the hard edge, especially if I add a little bit of water. If I add a little bit of water, the paint will kind of run to the edges and create these very crisp lines. And I love that. It gives it a really old-timey feeling. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. I'm now going to do the kind of the window sill thing. Ledge. So this is not going to be the old Barnwood. I'm just going to make it a little be soft. Maybe just kind of a old dirty white. Yeah.
Have they called that before?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just things you do have to worry about. All right. So, as you can see, I'm just giving it a little hint of color without getting too busy. Because I'm saving the busy for the wood top down below. I'm adding a little more value, a little shadow, just a little more color. Come over on this side. I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of that gray tint again. So at this point, I think you can kind of see the subject matter. I am going to...
I'm going to have to reset cameras in a minute.
Well, I was going to say, I'm about to say, let's end it here.
Okay.
For the end of part 1. So, how do we say that?
So, well, that's it for today's episode, today's lesson.
I like that.
Painting, he's got the background in, some of the wood and the sill. I'm going to assume that tomorrow we will work on the beginnings of the flower and the vase itself.
Definitely the vase. Maybe finish up on the third day with the flowers.
Okay.
So I think that's how we're going to end up breaking it up.
Wonderful. So be sure to subscribe, give the video a like. Check out the other videos in the meantime until the second and third part of this are finished. And let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns that we can address in a future video.
Concerns.
And show us samples of your work.
Please.
Still want to see what you're doing. So
send us some stuff.
thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.